So, in regards to God and in regards to avoiding a confrontation with theists, I was in Thailand in Doi Suthep. I think I've told this story before on record. And I was sitting with one of my students, because we had this thing where we would meet people. Visitors would come. I didn't do it so much, but I was trying to, some of my students were doing it because I was responsible for teaching meditators. But visitors would come and they'd talk to them about Buddhism and give them an introduction. I answer their questions like this. And we got a lot of visitors because we were at a popular tourist location, which is part of the reason why I left in the end. But, it was fruitful because we helped a lot of people. And so these two missionaries came and they said, well, we're, looking for information. And so we sat down with them. And I talked about the Eightfold Noble Path or something. Sorry, I'm getting something in Thai. วัดพระธาตุสีจอมทอง in จอมทอง จังหวัดเชียงใหม่ เคยสอนที่วัดลำปึงที่เชียงใหม่ Sorry, I'm interrupting a recorded video. I should go in order, right? Where was I? What was I talking about? Talking about Doi Suthep. Wat Patat Doi Suthep. Here we were with these missionaries, talked to them about the Eightfold Noble Path. And then, I was just giving them the basics of Buddhism. And then one of them said to me, well, what you say is interesting, but I still believe that Jesus Christ is the only path to God. And I looked at him and I said, you're absolutely right. And my student, she's sitting in the chair next to me, she goes like this. And I didn't blink. I looked at him and I said, but you have to understand what is God. And you have to understand what is Jesus Christ. What is God? God is love. And there's a saying in the Bible that God is love. So what is the path to love? I said it like this, I said, if you believe that God is some guy with a beard sitting up on a throne in heaven, you're wrong. The Bible says it itself, God is love. And I said, I actually extrapolated, I said, God is love, God is compassion, God is joy, and God is equanimity. This is what God is. And if you think that Jesus was a man who was born on earth to parents and lived as a Jew, then you're also wrong. Jesus Christ is the path to God. And what is the path to these things? Well, the path to these things is actually love, compassion, joy, and equanimity. And this is what Jesus Christ was. They didn't really buy it. But it was a neat thing to say, I think, because it's very Buddhist. And if you learn anything about Brahma in Buddhism, you learn about the Brahma Viharas. There's a couple of good suttas, but in general, talking about the Brahma Viharas or the dwellings of Brahma or God. And these are the four Brahma Viharas: love, compassion, joy, and equanimity. So that's an example of how we avoid the confrontation with them. Just find a way to agree with them, or twist it. The Buddha was all about this. He talked about how he's a real Brahmin, he's a real shaman. How in so many ways he was able to twist things around and show people how it was their own misunderstanding. Because the path from theism to atheism is a path from assumption to understanding. So theists have theories about reality, and when they say the word God, they're actually talking about reality. They just misunderstand. They have the misunderstanding and interpretation and extrapolation. And it's just a path. If they can get from there to a clear understanding of what they're talking about, they'll be I guess they'll be atheist. I mean, you don't even have to say it like that, but they'll be at the truth. And whether you call it God or not, it's just reality. It's the experience of the world around us.